Welcome back, my amazing artists. Today you're going to continue on with your mandala projects that we started last week. Last time you were here, we took a piece of thin sketch paper and we used our ruler and we measured and we marked off the inches. Starting at the 0, you marked off 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, and some of you did 5 inch. Okay. We also did it on this opposite side. And then I also encouraged you, if you wanted to, you could draw a line from your corner to the diagonal across. And that way you'd have a line, a mirror line, to make sure that both sides of your picture are exactly the same. Remember, we're going to make our mandalas by printing with stamps and ink. And this represents 1/4 or 1/4 of your picture. Next time we're here, we're going to put the ink on and we'll print it 4 different times. This one you can see only has 2, and we're going to print it 4 times on a piece of paper so that your entire design looks complete. So today, what you need to do is you need to work quickly to finish your design. After you are finished with your design, you're going to attach your lightweight paper to your piece of foam, making sure that your center point lines up with the corner. So a couple things you need today. You need a pencil, you need a Sharpie marker, a little piece of tape, you need your paper, and you need your foam. Now it's helpful to have a pencil that has somewhat of a point on it. If your pencil doesn't have a very good point, then it's going to be very hard to trace your design on your foam because you're going through the paper into the foam. So let me just show you really quickly. A good way to kind of kick it up a notch with your designs is to just sort of add another layer of lines. So right here, I might just add another skinny line right next door to my other line. Now make sure that this line and this line line up. That's what we use the marks on the corners for. So if I make something go off the edge here, it needs to go off at the same exact spot on this side. And maybe I want to just make, little circles in here or little lines. Make sure that they line up. That's a half circle there and a half circle there. Maybe I'm just going to make like a squiggly line. Maybe you just want to make like little lines inside. Everything you add just kind of kicks it up a notch and gives it a little bit more detail. Okay. Notice how I ended mine with a curve. Yours can go completely off the paper with designs, or you can end with a curve if you want. Okay, now that I'm finished, I want to mark off my center point by drawing a little dot there. And with my Sharpie, I'm just going to make a little center dot there so I know to line up my center with my center. Line them up. Take your piece of tape. I actually like to put it on the opposite corner from my center point. Line it up and fold it over to the back side. And that way your paper shouldn't move so much, okay? While you're at it, you might as well take your foam, turn it over, and write your name on the back. Write your teacher code. And since you're here, it's very helpful to mark off where your center point is. So since I made a little Sharpie dot on this side, I'll make a little Sharpie dot on the back. And that's gonna help out when we're printing. In fact, I might even make this really big. And maybe I might make a little line coming off of it so I know that's my center point, right? And that's the opposite side. Okay, once you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and take your pencil very carefully. You're gonna just go ahead and you're gonna start by tracing. You know what? I think I might take a little piece of my tape off, and it might be helpful actually. Instead of what I did, you might wanna tape like a little bit on the sides, maybe rip your piece of tape a little bit smaller, and maybe see what I did when I was zoomed in there. Maybe take your piece of tape and tape. Yeah, let's go with that. That's a better idea. Problem solving as we create the video. So I'm just kind of gonna put a piece of tape like right here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. but it looks like my paper was moving a little too much. So I just took a little piece of that tape and I'm gonna fold it over the edge here. So that way it doesn't move. You really want this paper super secure so it doesn't move anywhere. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my somewhat sharp pencil and I'm just gonna trace over my pencil lines. Once you are 100% finished, you can do this to kind of check your work. You should be able to see it. When you're completely finished, you're gonna peel this paper away. You can throw away the paper and you're actually gonna take your pencil and you're gonna retrace your design right on the foam, making a deeper indent. You really need to press pretty firm. You don't want to press so hard that you dig through and poke a hole, but you don't want it to be too soft so that the image doesn't print. And what I mean by that is sometimes if you don't trace, here are some examples. Sometimes if you don't trace hard enough, you're not going to get a picture or an image that prints as nicely as these. Now this one came out really awesome. The only thing is some of the hearts didn't line up because they didn't measure properly. Same thing here. The petals line up nicely, but the inside of the center doesn't quite line up, but you can see this part mostly lines up pretty good. This is not a circular image, but the image does show the radial balance and it's just sort of geometric, so that's kind of what it looked like when they created it. And this one too, this one lines up, looks really nice when it lines up at the edges where it prints. Okay, make sure you press firmly enough and make sure you trace your entire design. Okay, have fun.